Now, when it comes to aliens and UFOs, only two things can be true. Everybody's either lying or everybody is telling the truth. I'm going to bring you guys two sitting congressmen and one congresswoman right now that say they have been briefed and aliens do exist. What you want to look for, I study body language experts because they study all of the alien whistleblowers. What you want to look for in these three interviews is signs of deception. Signs of deception is looking away, can't keep eye contact, movement of the mouth, covering of the mouth, uncontrollable movement, scratching, itching. Even try that yourself. Try it yourself. Try to make up a story and tell somebody, and you can't help but keep scratching. All right, so that's signs of deception. Also, my thing is this: study, does the story make sense, and is it the same story everybody else is? So this is a current congressman right now. So another congressman, Gatz, he told a story that I'm going to bring you guys, that there's an alien and human breeding program. And the interviewer is trying to see, hey, I'm going to ask you, and I'm waiting on you. And he's going to say, yeah, I can't talk about it because it's classified. And watch his shocked look. And he's going to say, yes, he's been briefed. And, hey, it's true.
I don't have the tinfoil hat on just yet, Congressman, but I'm wondering, kind of how you react to that, because you are connected. You're on the UFO subcommittee. I mean, I'm just wondering what you make of that. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
Wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that tongue in cheek?
I'm being 100% serious. Okay. I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. And I'll just tell you this. If they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up. You'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. Well, I was briefed. I'll just tell you this. I was briefed last week on an issue, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth on. This country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would demand answers. And we need to, but it's never going to get. Unfortunately, it just keeps getting covered up, and the people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks.
So. I'm glad you said that.
Wow, the stories all match up. Every alien whistleblower is saying the exact same thing too, that the president does have clearance. However, they are purposely lied to. In Independence Day, you're going to hear the president say, why wasn't I briefed on this? They're going to say, oh, well, it's deniable plausibility. And they're saying that's the real term for presidents are temporary employees, and they are at a need-to-know basis. And if they don't need to know, they are not briefed. There was a president that was about to storm Area 51 one time to find out, because he was directly lied to and he knew it. All right, so this is going to be, I'm going to bring you guys Gatz. This is the guy they were talking about. This is his claim. Listen to him. Tell me if you see any signs of deception.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating? What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
Yeah, I had a guy who...
Now, if you say it's something so outrageous and crazy, you're not going to be helped but to laughing and hee. But my man is like, yeah, absolutely, yep. He didn't stutter. He knew exactly where he was, what was said, how it was said.
Who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army, came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans.
If you watch those E-Files, read the E-Files, exact same story.
Of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country.
Every alien whistleblower got the exact same story
Where this happened, and what he wanted was a group members of Congress to all show up at the same time.
And this is a congresswoman again.
Yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind. And yes, of course, we've seen other evidence.
Not created by mankind.
And then we later find out that there's drones, but there is a certain amount of evidence that we simply can't explain. Some of the physics that are defied in how these vehicles operate are very interesting to note. And we are not the only government that's, looked into this extensively.
Exact same story. My thing is this. He said an alien breeding program. And that's the exact same thing that every single whistleblower is saying. And what do we know about humans? Now, let's talk about, does it make sense? What do we know about humans? Nothing. We know that what we only have Charles Darwin's theory. And it's just a theory. He's saying that, we were apes and all of a sudden, boop, we just started walking and got intelligent. Which we know that to be complete BS now that we know what we know about science. That's completely impossible. Our brains went from this big to this big. And you can go to the Field Museum in Chicago, and I've been to the Natural History Museum in Houston, Texas. Exact same thing. They have a display where our brains was this big. We know that there was 5 races. There's modern humans from Africa. There's the Neanderthal from Europe. And there was like 3 other races of humans. And they were all brains this big. Dumb as a box of rocks, allegedly. And all of a sudden, the brains went from this big to this big. All of a sudden, intelligent beings clothing themselves, hunting with objects, building houses. All of a sudden, they've become very intelligent. What every whistleblower is saying is that our DNA was mixed with, and I brought you guys several videos on that our DNA was altered 57 times since the caveman days. They're saying that alien beings came to the planet Earth and mixed their DNA with their DNA and created, and that's where humans come from. That resulted into the intelligent hybrid. And so many words is saying all of us are aliens. But what they're also saying is other people have more alien DNA than others. And there's a famous person that did something that's saying the exact same story. And when you try to ask why he did what he did, that's his story. And before we was like, get out of here, that's insane. Also, in the E-Files, the witnesses and survivors, they all say Epstein transformed into some type of green reptilian creature. We're just saying, and I tell people, hey, y'all heard this? Y'all hear this? They're all saying, I believe everything else they're saying, but I think that's a lie. I believe everything else, that's a lie. We've been hearing for hundreds of years. I've been hearing for years about certain groups that are doing what the E-Files said they was doing. Now we confirm that's true. We just assumed they were all lying. All these years, everybody, they're just liars. But my thing is, nobody has nothing to gain. Nobody's getting money from lying. Nobody's getting no extra action, no extra money, no extra interviews. Nobody's getting rich. They're just being ridiculed, embarrassed, and looked at funny. When I tell people what I believe, and I show people these interviews, yeah, right, yeah, they laugh at me. But if you see the seriousness in their faces, when I tell people this type of stuff, and I'm going to tell somebody else, yo, you see this? And they laugh at me, and I'm like, and I can't even tell the story. But my man is like, yeah, here's what happened. He's not flinching. He's not, yeah. My man is like, yeah, here's what happened. Yo, and this is what I was briefed on, and here's what I know. And he's saying, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Everybody cannot be lying. So, y'all tell me what you think. Peace, peace.
On fire. Ooh, down to the wire. My life in the shy.